million bucks doing what I just said. All right. So let's go into the next thing. All right. This is big. Okay. So has anybody got any questions on that, or do y'all want me to tell you how to create listings?
You explained
Oh,
it pretty well, so I mean, might as well move forward. I think
all
that
right.
makes a lot of sense.
All right. Sounds good.
Question.
Yep. What was the question?
No, I was just checking to see if there was any in my chat, and there isn't, Jay. So go ahead. Thank
All right.
you. That's great.
I try to cover stuff thoroughly, guys. All right. So let's talk about listings. Okay. So understand this. Ashley and my wife and I, we have 1,570 agents in 7 levels at eXp. We're top 20 in the company. So my focus coming into eXp was always selling houses. I knew that I could coach people on how to sell houses, just like Mitch is focused on these calls and Pat on helping people sell. So one of my things I say to our agents every week is, and guys, I'm a hardcore. I'm actually I think I'm a decently nice person, but I'm also extremely hardcore. And what I mean is I'm not a BSer. I'm just going to tell you like it is. So here's one of my things. I have zero empathy or compassion for agents that fail and don't sell houses. Like I tell all 1,500, don't call me crying that you're struggling because you can't sell, because there's 2 reasons why you're struggling. Only 2. Reason number 1, you are associating yourself with the wrong coaches and people. And I know that's not your excuse at with Mitch's group, because Mitch is one of the best coaches on the planet. So I know that's not happening with anybody here. The only other thing is you're not doing the work. You're not willing to work it, because you can throw money at anything if you got enough money, but not everybody's got the money. Not everybody can buy $10,000 worth of Zillow ads. I don't buy Zillow ads. So what I'm trying to teach agents is how to build a business with work ethic. Not buying. Hey, if you want to buy leads, buy them. You know, I'm not saying that that's not a good thing. I mean, I guess it can be good, but I'm talking about how you work them and earn them. So this is what I'm teaching agents. Creating listings. How do you create listings? It's not how did you get listings? How did you get listings? No, it's how did you create listings? So one of the things we've done in Nashville, and every market's different, but I learned something a long time ago. A builder with no lots is unemployed. A builder that builds houses for a living that doesn't have lots to build on is a handyman. Okay? So what I'm trying to teach agents is, and I don't even think I'm in the I don't even think I'm in the house selling business. I'm in the shelter business. Shelter. Roofs over people's heads, because this whole thing and this argument for, hey, we're in an inventory depleted industry, right? There's no houses. Create them. Okay? So what do you got to do to create a house? You only have to do one thing. Find the dirt. You don't have to be a builder. I have no desire to be a builder. I could care less how a plumbing line works. Okay? I don't want to do that work. All I want to do, and I call it being a dirt digger. How can you dig up dirt? And it's not easy, but it's worth it. Because a lot of times, if you'll find land positions, farmers, landowners of vacant lots, if you drive around some of the hottest neighborhoods, maybe in areas that are up and coming, or people are tearing down houses, right? The old nasty houses. A lot of times you can put more than one house on one lot that has an old house on it, at least in Nashville. I don't know what it's like in Florida, but for years, I have always been a listing creator, because I would find the land, okay? I would find a piece of a tract of land that we could put one road in and build 10 houses, and then you get 10 listings, right? And so the thing I'm trying to teach agents to do across the nation, across the world, is you need to know zoning code. You need to go down and you need to get the zoning codes of in your city, and you need to know them backwards and forwards. And a lot of times, a lot of you guys are like, oh my goodness, I won't be able to, figure out what all these, what I can build here, because you find a good engineer, find a good surveyor, find a good, basically a civil engineer and a surveyor, and take them to a nice dinner. Like literally buy them a nice steak. Say, hey, listen, man, I want to do some deals with you this year. My name's Jay Nelson. I'm a realtor here in town. I've got some pieces of land I'm looking at. I want to bring you some business. I want to bring you some land we could maybe develop and bring some builders into. Let's go have a steak dinner and learn the zoning code. Ask them questions. Hey, what are some of the land zoning uses where you could tear down one house and build 4? And how does that work? And those guys know it. Engineers know what land use policies are. So what I'm trying to teach agents to do is go out and learn how to create your own listings through. I mean, what if you found a farm and guys, I'm telling you, I'm old school. Let me tell you something. I made $475,000 on one door knock. One door knock. It was the right knock. And it was, let's see, what year was it? That was about 4.5 years ago. And I had agents at eXp when I did it. And some of them are just too lazy to go knock on the right doors. Okay. So what I'm saying is it's all about what you can do with the land. It's not about what you're looking at. It's about what you can build on it. So how many of y'all are doing any type of finding dirt and bringing it to builders? Is there anybody on this call that's done that or is in the process of learning how to do that?
I am.
Me
Okay.
too.
Awesome. We got some dirt diggers. I love it. So tell me what you guys are doing and share with the group some of the insight in maybe your part of the country.
So I started sending letters to people who own vacant land in the area that live out of state. And I started getting phone calls a few days ago. And I'm doing some market analysis for them currently and getting a hold of communicating with builders as well at the same time. What I don't know really is, how to bring the joint venture together and really what to expect, from the builders, what kind of expectations to put on them, creating a deal, because I know, sometimes people can be kind of shady and, try to cut
Oh
you.
yeah.
So I just kind of want to make sure I know what to do to not allow that to happen.
I will tell you what you do. And you know what? I mean, I'm so busy that like I made one sloppy mistake one time. I made a sloppy mistake. We all make mistakes because I just got too busy to take the time to do the paperwork properly. And but for the most part, it was like years and years ago though. But what I would do is you want to identify a viable deal, identify that lot. And you need to call up some builders that you like and say, listen, man, I'm in the business of making money. I have a lot in a certain area of town, and you could tell them maybe the general vicinity over in East Nashville, and you can build 2 houses on this piece of property, and you would tear down one old house and build 2, and you can buy the lot with the 2 lots. I could probably get the seller to come off of it at about $300,000 for the lot. But here's the deal. I'm not selling it to any builders that won't. I have no problem letting you come in. I'm only going to, and listen, don't be greedy on the front end. Don't be greedy on the front end. Don't try to make 6% off the builder on that front end. The real money's on the 2 $600,000 houses. Right. So I will tell the builder straight up, I'll say, look, man, I'm charging 3% for you to buy the lot. but I want a 6% listing on both houses, and I want that in writing. And I don't even, if you need lots, should we go to lunch? But I'm not gonna, I don't want to get screwed, and you got to respect me for being a good businesswoman. I just need to know up front that I'll bring you a non-disclosure, that you can't, buy this lot or have anybody else. But I don't even like doing all that paperwork. I just need a man of their word. If I bring you the lot and I take a 3% on the front end for you to buy the $300,000 house and tear it down, you need to commit to me that I'm going to be the listing agent on the back end. And any good builder is not going to try to screw you out of that deal. So do your homework and meet a bunch of different people and make sure you got the right people. But that's how I would structure that. And I would just have a 1-page document that said, hey, this is a property at, 1234 Main Street. If anybody this is, don't have anybody sign. I mean, just say you can't tell anybody about it. Put it in a document, create your own document, and just say, here's the terms of the deal, and just write it out very clearly. Get them to sign it at lunch. And just so you know, builders are not in a position, if they screw an agent bad, word gets around. They don't want that kind of reputation.
That's what I needed to know. Thank you. Yeah, it's happened. I've heard of it happening a couple of times with different people down here, and I wanted to make sure I did everything I could to prevent it. So,
and you know what? It's all about the relationship, right? Like, I really do have a lot of respect for builders, and I love what they do, and I try to build a friendship. Builders they're gonna use people they like. They got 100 agents. That it ain't an agent problem, right? So it's all about you going in and being that warm fuzzy and being that awesome person that you are, and just making a friend. And another thing I'll tell you is builders are wide open for new agents all the time, for the ones that are nice and aggressive and are out there. I mean, don't this is a good, finding one lot should be building a relationship. You should have that conversation with 10 builders, right? So you find one lot, you have 10 lunches with 10 builders, and then they're going to go, and what was your name again? What was your name?
Nikki.
Yeah. See, you're going to go have that lunch with the builder, and they're going to be like, I love Nikki. She's not as stuck up as my greedy agent I already have. And you know what? They're going to be like, I love her energy. She's out hustling. And then I'm telling you, it happened. The builders go, you know what, Nikki? I really like your hustle. My realtor that's been working for me for 5 years, she ain't brought me a damn deal in 5 years. She's lazy. I'm going to give you this next listing. I mean, dude, every single one of y'all can steal builders left and right. You don't want to go after somebody else's listing, but builders are wide open to listen to any deals agents can bring to the table. So go get them, Nikki.
You got it.
I'm excited for you. Anybody else got anything else they want to add to that?
Gemma, you had a question about the lending side, if you're representing the buyer and trying to get a deal with the buyer.
For eXp Realty, I was wondering if I could just
say what? What was the question?
1 unit 5102 this afternoon between 3:30 and 4.
Margaret, can you mute your mic, please? Gemma, well, your question was if you're representing a buyer.
Yeah, so if you go into this whole thing, I have a couple of buyers that want land and then they want to build. But if you're talking about creating a deal, digging dirt and creating the whole thing. But so my question is, if I were to go out and do that, and I already have a couple of buyers that wanting to do something like this anyway, I found some land for them. And I've been talking to different builders. There's one builder that they like, but they make you use their own financing. I can't. Well, how do you deal with what you were talking about? Was not necessarily working with the buyer, but creating a deal. I've already
I like what you're doing though. And I just did this 2 weeks ago where we found but so what you're asking is on that individual person that says, hey, I want to build my dream home. Find me a piece of land and let me get a builder and build my dream home. Is that what's your question on the financing for that?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things is you want to build those relationships with those local lenders, because local lenders are who you want to use for construction loans. Construction loans are a whole nother animal. Okay. So I don't go to Bank of America and Regions and stuff like that for construction loans. I go to local, smaller lenders. So I build relationships with those branch managers or presidents. And then I'm like, what I'll do is I don't want to waste a lot of time if somebody doesn't understand construction loans. First of all, you got to have 20% down. And one of the things that you can do with a construction loan is, let's say you find a piece of land for 100 G's, and the build cost on a 3,000 square foot house is 400. So you got 100 grand in the land, 400 grand in the lot, right? So $500,000, right? Well, if a buyer doesn't have 20% down on a $500,000, they're not going to do that. They're not going to build their own dream home. It's not going to happen. Not in this market. If they don't have 20% cash saved up, they need to buy an existing house or buy from a tract builder. They're not going to be able to build a custom. Okay. Now, one of the things about it is a lot of banks, let's say they buy the lot for 100, they build it for 400. That's 500 G's, right? But when they run the numbers, a house is worth 600. That's 100 grand in equity. And a bank can use part of that equity to crunch down that 20% stroke down by the buyer. So you can, if you get a good banker, my bankers will do that for my people. They'll be like, okay, so they're not wanting to put down all 20, because I just did $1.9 million new build, but I think it's going to appraise out at about 2.2. So that's $300,000 worth of equity stroke. Okay. So you're tracking with me on that now. So you want to go ahead and get some relationships on those construction loans. You definitely want to be the person that refers the banker. I'm telling you, I want to make sure they're using a bank that I know is going to do a good job, that's going to provide the construction loan, that's going to see the value in me bringing the client. So they're using one of my banks. So you do that. And also sometimes the builder, if it's is this a custom builder?
Yeah. So I've got a couple that I've been talking to, and this one, like the leader one, the one that they love the most, they make you use their financing. Like there's no option. They will not do it with any other bank because they said they've had too many things fall through, and they
That's right.
use their own
I get
financing.
that. No, I absolutely get that. As long as their bank is giving your client good rates, then you're fine doing that, and it doesn't hurt to let them, if the custom builder has a preferred bank, because what they're worried about is their draw schedules. Because when you're building big dog houses and they they're drawing out 100 grand here and 100 grand there, they don't want to be late getting their draws. So
Yeah.
that's why it's totally understandable, as long as you're not, your client's not getting gouged on the construction loan.
All right.
I mean, that's at least some sort of a little bit of a definition, if it does come down to maybe the draws do play a role. So maybe you might want to find out if however the type of financing they want to do as the buyer is that sort of a draw schedule anywhere comparable to where maybe now you can go back to the builder and have that conversation if they would be willing to reconsider.
Probably more about making sure that they actually get paid when they ask to be drawn to.
Right. Exactly.
Really. That's really what it is,
Yeah.
guys. Like you said, it's not that they're in love with their banker. They've had dealt with some other banks that don't pay them on time. But here's something I did with this last deal. I'm actually, my attorney is on the board. And so because my attorney's on the board of a bank, I asked the builder, I said, look, I got the president of the oldest bank in Tennessee. He wants to meet you and maybe loan you some more money. They would like to use my banker. Would you be open to a conversation with the president of the oldest bank in Tennessee? And the builder is like, hell yeah, because builders need money. So that was an in for me to get them. But working with some little crony bank that doesn't have any pop and power, I get you got to watch out for the little, if you're going to bring your own lender into a construction deal like that, you better be bringing a big time banker that can make sure that those custom builders can get paid on time.
Do you have any advice for in this market? Like they found a lot that they like, it's like 10 acres. And that with these construction perm loans, I guess like this one builder, it's 5 months before they wrap it all together because they're trying to like do one closing cost, like land and build all in one. And so nobody who owns a lot, I mean, maybe they would, I don't know, but that's why I'm asking, is, you know, they're not going to say, yeah, you can buy our lot and pay us 5 months later when we roll it all into this thing. So we were trying to avoid like 2 closings, lot close and then the bill close. Do you have any wisdom on that?
You know what? I do have some wisdom on that. If your bank is worth a damn, then they're not going to they're going to close on the lot and then they're going to roll that into another loan. You shouldn't, it's not like buying 2 FHA loans. Like you got to understand, these are in-house construction loans. So you're not going to see it where your client's really not going to get hurt unless the banker's trying to double. I mean, you will have double, but what they're going to do is close on the land and then pledge the land into the construction loan.
Right. They'll
So
roll into it,
yeah.
but I thought there'd be double closing costs. Not, I mean, and I guess.
I mean, there's a little bit of, there's some transfer costs and stuff, but I mean, you know, a good lender's not going to, I mean, it might cost them a little bit more, but
Okay.
you know, you could do it both ways. You could do it in one. It's going to cost them a little bit more, but it depends on how the bank's structured. And a lot of times the banks won't try to double dip those fees. There'll be some cost, but it'll be a little bit different.
Okay.
So guys, listen, I got to jump, but you know what? Listen, I just want to say this to everybody. You guys have a great group. I told Pat before I got on here, I'd run through a brick wall for Mitch. You got a servant leader that cares about your production. He cares about, you building a brokerage with eXp. And by the way, if none of y'all are agent attracting, you guys need to check your temperature because look, I never took my foot off the gas of sales. I sold over 200 houses with no buyer's agents by myself with one admin. And I did that and built 1,500 agents in the rev share. So I always tell agents, do both great, help agents. If you're going to bring agents to eXp and recruit them to eXp, then help them sell more houses. And to me, that's what it's all about. And, I know that Mitch has that heart and that mindset for y'all's group, and y'all are very blessed to have him.
I agree.
Thanks very much, Jay. Yeah, Jay
Hey.
and his wife Ashley spoke at one of the events that we were at, and they have a really cool story about how they approach agents, not even in Tennessee, but agents outside of their state, and about partnering up in eXp Realty as a business. So we got to get you on another time, Jay, and talk about that. Because
yeah,
really cool.
We could do it in a different time. But listen, it's all about loving on people. Guys, recruiting agents is no different than selling houses. Be authentic, be real, be you. That's all that you ever have to do, and make sure people know who that is. Okay, and some people like me, some people might not. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be real, and the same thing applies for agent attraction as selling houses. Just be who you are, bust your ass, work hard. And people will see that and they'll be attracted to it to buy and sell houses from you or come to your group in eXp. Y'all have a great day.
Anybody?
Thank you.
Jay.
Hey, if y'all got anybody coming to Nashville and you're willing to put them in a car with Crazy Jay Nelson, I got their back. Okay.
Thank you,
We'll
Jay.
send them your
Really
way.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Mitch and I.
Thanks, guys. Y'all look
Great
us up on
information.
Facebook too. See y'all.
Thanks a lot.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Pat, what's his last name?
Jay
What's Jay-
Nelson?
Nelson?
Nelson. Yeah.
Okay.
Him and his wife Ashley. They're out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, I'll look him up. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Three.